Hello. Good evening, Riza and Darshana. Good evening and welcome to class. I was just waiting if anyone else has to come. I was just waiting for that. But I don't think it's wise to wait. We can just start off now. Okay, am I audible to two of you, Riza and Darshana? Riza, can you hear me? Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the equilibrium of a firm under a perfect competition. So if you remember, in the last economics class we discussed about the different concepts of cost, total cost, marginal cost, average cost, all that we discussed. So we can just start with this is in continuation to that only. Janice Kant, good evening and welcome to class. Okay, so now today we are going to study about how is the equilibrium level of output for the firms is determined under a perfect competition market. Okay, so this is just, we can say, a revision. So what is a firm? It is a group of people with production tools located in some premises who with work transform raw materials into goods and services and sell them. Okay, this is the formal definition of a firm. So in simple language we can say firm is any unit that is doing a business. Okay, so it is the individual unit doing a business. For example, Maruti Suzuki, that is a no, let's take some other example, an easier one. I would say KFC, that is a firm. Okay, then it is an individual business, it is an individual firm, it is offering service goods to the people. Then if I talk about, and it is a part of which industry? KFC is a part of which industry? Food industry, yes. So just a second. Okay, so it's a part of food industry. So KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Subway, all these are a part of the food industry only. So That is how a that is the meaning of a firm and an industry. Industry means a group of firms which operate in the same industry. Okay, so this is firm. So it can also be defined as a business unit which owns, controls, and manages a plant or plants, where plant refers to the technical unit. Okay, so it is not necessarily a good or service provider, it can also be a manufacturing unit. Okay, so that is also a firm. So we have three types of firms. One is the commercial firms, that is the one in which the retailer, wholesaler, or a large commercial organizations are involved. Then industrial firms are those which are into the business of manufacturing. Like think of a workshop. Workshop is a place where service is provided. The service of repairing the units, that is being done there. So it can be a workshop, it can be a plant or a group of plants. Okay, manufacturing units. Then what are financial firms? Banks, insurance companies, and mutual funds. So they are the firms which deal in these uh, particular aspects. They are like concerned with this. The one that is trading in the banking sector, insurance industry, or in the mutual fund, that is a financial firm. Just a minute, I need So an industry is the name given to a certain type of manufacturing or retailing environment. For example, the retail industry is the industry that involves everything from clothes to computers, from a hairpin to a big thing as a laptop or a computer. That is a part of the retail industry. Okay, so every firm which is operating in this arena will be a part of the industry. Yeah, here is the example. So we can presume the KFC as one firm, but all the fast food restaurants and their suppliers would make up the fast food industry. Now what is this perfect competition? We have discussed this, but it is just a revision of the same. So what is that? It is a market condition in which there are many buyers and many sellers of the same product. Okay, same product is being offered by many buyers and many sellers. So that is a perfect competition. So it is a market condition in which there is no entry, there is no restriction on the entry and exit of the firms. The firms can enter and leave the market whenever they feel like. They can do that. And the price in this industry, in this type of market, perfect competition, yes, Riza, like mobiles. But mobiles are more specifically, we can say they are they fall under the category of monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is a market situation in which there are few sellers but large number of buyers selling identical products. Means the products are similar yet they are a little different from each other. Like smartphones, all of them have certain varied features. They have some speciality. So that is monopolistic competition. Cold drink, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Fanta, 7-Up, Sprite, so many. So that is again a monopolistic competition. There are only few brands that are known to us and the tastes are different. The variation is there. So that is monopolistic competition. Okay. In the perfect competition, the product is identical. It is exactly similar. But in monopolistic, it is not identical. There may be a slight difference in the product. So the example for perfect competition can be the textile industry, and it is more likely in the case of consumer durables. Yeah, there are different brands for the milk. Then for consumer products, the eatables that we take, the daily usage items, most of the products are identical. They are similar. Whether you take Lux soap or rather you take Fair and Lovely cream, Nivea, Pond's, then what else? Olay, and many more. Dabur, whatever. There are so many companies. The product is the same. Okay. So this is first referring to competition which involves one firm trying to take away market share from another firm, and this process is a rivalry among the firms. Yes, we see in the television the advertisements for the different types of products. So what is the purpose? The purpose is to influence the customer, influence their opinion. Okay, that is the point. Yes, so their products are homogeneous. They are exactly same. They are not variable. So there are large number of buyers and sellers of the homogeneous product in the market. So this is one condition of the perfect competition. Then well-informed producers and consumers about the market. The producers as well as consumers are very well informed. Everybody knows about the product. Like when we see the ad of a particular detergent powder on the television, we know about its in and outs. We know at what price is it available, at what packaging is it available. So all that is means that the consumer is well informed, and even the producers. So only one price of a commodity in the whole market. Yeah, the same product is available at the same price. Free entry for new firms and free exit for old firms. Anyone can enter this industry and anyone can leave whenever they feel like. There is no restriction. Restriction in the sense of getting license and all. Like there are certain industries, there are certain business or service providers which have to avail the license from the government as per the law. So in case of a perfect competition, this is not there. ERISA, for food industry you need license. Okay, then for like opening a liquor shop you need license in India. You cannot open a liquor shop without license. For opening a medical shop, you need like dispensary type, you need a license. Pharmacy, you cannot open it. Yeah, so these are the restrictions which are there. Yeah, Darshana, that is there. For selling the products on the roadside, you don't need any license. You can easily operate. So you can easily enter the market and you can easily exit. There is no foundation on the customer. Janice Kant, are you getting the things? Are you able to follow? I think your first class with me. Are you like getting the content? Or are you having any problems? Janice? Janice, are you there? Okay, let's just continue. I think he isn't there. Okay, so you are getting what I am teaching? Can you follow me? Are you able to follow? Alright. You have any doubts? Please clarify. So in this industry, the price of the commodity is determined by the industry, and at a determined price, all the firms can sell any number of units of the commodity. Okay, so we are saying that in this industry, the price is determined by the industry in case of perfect competition. So can you tell me how does the industry decides the price? Is industry a living being, a prime minister of the country that he is going to decide? How is it that the price is determined in case of a perfect competition? Raisa, Darshana, you have any idea? Okay, it is by the free play between demand and supply for the product. Okay, it is by the demand and supply that the price is decided. The point at which the demand equals the supply, that is the equilibrium price, and that is the price which has to be accepted by every firm that is operating in that market. Okay, this is the reason, like when you go to a vegetable market, okay, you see sometimes you see the products or the vegetables are available at the same price with every vendor. They offer the same price, like tomato is for 30 rupees a kg, and the next time you go it may turn up to be 50. Then when we question them, why is it so expensive today, then what is their answer? They say this is the price that is decided, and this is the price at which it is available. So how is that price decided? It is decided by the free play between the demand and supply for that product. In case the in case there is rain, in case there are rains and rains in the unfavorable weather, like unfavorable season, when it is not good for the vegetables that has been sown. So what will happen? The supply for that product will go down, and because of that reduction in the supply, the price will go up. So this is how the price and supply and demand are related. Yeah, demand supply. And every firm that is a part of that industry will have to accept it. Okay, crude oil. Yeah. Okay, is it like government determined prices that are offered? Raisa? Even if there is scarcity of product, supply, then the price will remain the same. That is good. So under a perfect competition, the firm is the price taker, not the price maker. So they have to accept the price that is being decided. They are the price takers. Now, going to this average revenue and marginal revenue curves under the perfect competition. So in reference to this, I am showing you the previous PPT which we discussed in the previous class. This is with reference to that only. So this says when the firm sells its product at a given price. So it is called a perfectly competitive market. The price is determined by the industry. So you can see this is the output, the units of output, this is the price, this is the total revenue. 5 ones are 5, 5 to the 10, 3 5s are 15, 4 5s are 20 and 5 5s are 25. This is the total revenue. Okay, I am taking it in a hush because I have already discussed this with you. Just to remind you, I am I have pasted this PPT over there. Then what will be the average revenue? Average revenue means total divided by the number of units. So 5 divided by 1, 5. 10 by 2, 5. 15 by 3, 5. Again 5. Again 5. So for every unit, the average revenue is 5. Then marginal revenue. Marginal means the change to the total. So marginal revenue will also be 5. It is the total revenue of one unit minus the total revenue of other unit. Like 10 minus 5. So it will be 5 for the second unit. Then 15 minus 10. It will be 5 for the third unit. 20 minus 15. Again 5 for the fourth unit. Then 25 minus 20. Again 5. Alright. So this is how the marginal revenue is determined. So we see that the marginal revenue and average revenue, they are equal to each other. For every unit, they are equal. When this is 5, this is 5. This is for fourth unit, this is 5, this is also 5. So this is how we get the marginal revenue. And now if we are going to plot it on a graph paper, we'll get a straight line like this. Okay. Let us assume that this point is 5. This is the revenue 5. So for any unit that we are selling, whether we are selling this much unit or we are selling this many unit or this many or this many or this many, whatever, the price is remaining the same. Whether it is 5 units or it is 1 unit, the average revenue and marginal revenue is the same. So that is why we get a straight line parallel to the x-axis. That is the marginal and average revenue line. Okay. And you can see the total revenue is continuously increasing. It is growing from 5 to 10, then 15, then 20, then 25. So total revenue graph is going up. Did you get it? Darshana? Okay. So now going back to the previous presentation, we see that now how does the marginal and average cost curve looks like in the perfect competition? That is how it looks like. So average revenue and marginal revenue curve under the perfect competition becomes equal to D curve, and it would be a horizontal line parallel to the x-axis. Okay. So the curve simply implies that a firm under perfect competition can sell as much quantity as it likes at the given price determined by the industry. That is a perfectly elastic demand curve. The demand curve is perfectly elastic. I mean, it is not going to change. So what we can say is that average revenue is equal to the marginal revenue, and that is equal to the demand for the product. So this is how we calculate it. Now, what is this firm equilibrium? So equilibrium means a state of rest from which there is no tendency to move. That is equilibrium. You must have studied this term in geography, then in science also, and like in economics also we use it. Equilibrium means the point of, maths also. So the firm's equilibrium means the level of output where the firm is maximizing its profits, and therefore it has no tendency to change its output. Okay, it is the point which every firm desires to achieve. That is the point where they are most benefited. So that is what a firm focus at. Their target is to reach the equilibrium level. So in this situation, either the firm will be earning maximum profit or incurring the minimum loss. That is, it refers to the profit maximization. Okay, what is the advantage of being at the equilibrium? The advantage is that the firm will be getting maximum profit or it will be getting minimum loss. The loss will be minimum for the firm if it is at the point of equilibrium. So that is why we need to very clearly know how is this equilibrium level attained. So in the words of Hansen, a firm will be in equilibrium when it is of no advantage to increase or decrease its output. In simple terms, equilibrium has been defined as this. Okay. Okay. Now, what's next is the profit. What are the necessary conditions for the firm to be in equilibrium? How do we know that yes, we have reached our equilibrium point and we can now stick to this? How does a firm knows about that? So, at this point, the profit of a firm is equal to the difference between its total revenue and the total cost. Okay, the cost of manufacturing and the revenue that it is earning from the business. The difference between the two is the profit. That is simple. And so for the equilibrium of the firm, it should be maximum. Obviously, when we all aim at the maximum profit, then marginal cost should be equal to the marginal revenue. This is very important. Marginal cost of the firm should be equal to the marginal revenue. Okay, and when these are equal, the profit is maximum. Now, another important point is that equality of the marginal revenue and marginal cost is necessary but not sufficient. So the sufficient condition is that the marginal cost curve should cut the marginal revenue curve from below, not from the above. Okay, when we are going to plot these cost curves on a graph paper, we have to aim for the point at which the marginal cost curve cuts the marginal revenue curve from the below. That is very important. So these are the two important conditions. Okay, the first condition is that marginal cost must be equal to marginal revenue, and the second is that marginal cost curve should be cutting the marginal revenue curve from below. Okay, did you know about this beforehand? You might have studied these topics in class 12th or so. Anybody? Yeah, okay. So this is just a revision, we can say, alright? So, and at this point, no firm has an incentive to change its behavior. There is no point. Statistics, okay. This is a part of economics also. Economics curriculum. Oh, sorry. So, there are 2 points at which the marginal revenue and is equal to marginal cost curve, but at both the points the firm can't be in equilibrium or can't have maximum profit. Now you can just have a look at this graph. This graph is the marginal, the average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. As per this graph, we have seen that average revenue is equal to marginal revenue, that is 5 for this one. So going with that only, now the marginal cost curve is declining, then it is cutting a point, and then it is going above. Okay, the marginal cost curve is an inverted U-shaped curve. So the first condition, that is marginal revenue must be equal to marginal cost, that is being satisfied. And the second condition is that the marginal cost curve must cut the marginal revenue curve from below. So in this graph we see it is this marginal cost curve is cutting this marginal revenue curve at 2 points. You can see at this point and this point. But there cannot be two equilibrium points for the firm. So which one is the equilibrium point? The equilibrium point is A. Now why A? Because at point A, the marginal cost curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from below. Okay? It is cutting it from below. Can you see? It is coming from below and then it is cutting at this point. Can you see that, everybody? Darshna? So that is why the firm is in equilibrium. So did you all get this? This graph? Okay, Darshna. For a firm to be in equilibrium under the perfect competition, it is very important that two conditions are satisfied. Okay, two conditions must be satisfied. So what are those two conditions? The first condition is that average revenue must be equal to marginal revenue. Okay, so we are seeing that, or we can say marginal cost must be equal to marginal revenue. Then the second condition is that the marginal cost curve must cut the marginal revenue curve from below. So you can see this curve, yellow line, is cutting at 2 points, B and A. But at point A, it is cutting from below. It is coming from downwards and it is cutting and it is going forward. So we can say A is the point of equilibrium for the firm. So it should manufacture OM units of output. Then it will be at the point of maximum profit. Okay. Now there are, in every business, there are two time periods, short run and long run. So in the short run, the condition for the firm will be different, and in the long run, the condition will be different. Okay. So we can just see that how the time period affects the equilibrium level. So as a matter of fact, the price of a good is determined at a point where its demand is equal to supply, and so further it depends on the time taken by the demand and supply to adjust themselves. Okay, so this time element plays a vital role in the determination of the price of the goods. So according to Alfred Marshall, if the period is short, price determination will be influenced more by the demand. On the other hand, if the period is long, it will be influenced more by the supply. Okay, so if we talk about the short run, the price will be like demand will be the major role player, and if in the long run, supply will be the major point that we need to consider. So now let's see that. Short and long, two periods we'll be studying. So let us start with the short run. So what is the meaning of the short run? Short run means a time period in which the things are variable. Okay? No, that means the time period in which everything is not variable. Only few things are variable. Or we can say we can change just a few things in this time period, and things over here means the factors of production. Okay, so there are just two factors of production which we can change. There is capital and labor. They are the two main factors. So out of these factors of production, we can only change labor in the short run. We cannot change capital in the short run. This is with reference to one of the previous classes, if you remember. Raiza, Darshana, you were there or not for that class? Theories of production, when we were discussing cost of labor, cost of capital, wages, and interest on capital, that all. This is with reference to that only. So short run is the period in which we can only change one factor, that is labor. We can either increase the labor or decrease the labor as per the requirement. And there is not enough time for the new firms to enter the industry in the short run. Now if the demand is increased, the supply can be increased only up to its existing production capacity. Means we cannot increase our production capacity. We cannot get new machines installed. We cannot get new plants made. Okay, when we are talking about the short run. Short run means a period of 1 month, 3 months, within a year. Okay, we can only change the production, and that too only with the help of the labor which we have. We can either increase the labor or decrease the labor as per the need. We cannot change anything else. We cannot get more land. We cannot get more machinery. All other things will remain the same. They will remain fixed. Okay. So a firm in the short run equilibrium may face one of these situations. So what are the things? It can be earning, it can earn supernormal profit, normal profit, suffer minimum of losses, or it may just reach its shutdown point. So there are 4 conditions which may take place in a short run equilibrium. Okay, so let's just see that. Now we'll be seeing about the short run average cost curve, which is written as SAC. Okay, SAC stands for short run average cost curve. Now let us see what is that. Okay, so this is a situation. You understand supernormal profits? Supernormal profits means profits above the normal level. Okay, much beyond what is expected. That is supernormal. So in the short run, if it's the situation of supernormal profits, then average revenue will definitely be more than the short run average cost. That means short run average cost means the cost of production. So the cost of production is more than the revenue which we are generating. So it means we are earning lots of profit. So that is a situation of supernormal profit. So a firm in equilibrium earns supernormal profit when the average revenue, that is the price per unit, is determined by the industry is more than its short run average cost. Yes, that is an essential condition, and you will have to learn these conditions one by one. Okay, when the average revenue is more than the short run average cost. So the firm's equilibrium point is E, where average revenue is equal to the where marginal revenue is equal to average revenue is equal to short run marginal cost. Now let us see. Now coming to this graph, we see that this level P, this is this line, P line. This is the line of average revenue is equal to marginal revenue as per the previous slides. We know that we know how is it determined. Average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. Then this is the short run marginal cost curve, the yellow line. It is coming from below and cutting at point E. Okay, so at point E is the point of equilibrium. Now going further, one more graph that we need to discuss is the short run average cost curve. Okay, so this is the short run average cost curve. It is very much like the short run marginal cost curve only, but the thing is that it will be higher than the average revenue or marginal revenue initially. So that is why it will start from this point or at a point above this line, above this red line. Okay, so it means it is higher. Now it is going down, 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 down. It has reached its minimum and again it has started rising. Okay, alright. So we see that at point E, the firm is at equilibrium because the essential condition of equilibrium is satisfied at this point only. That is, the average revenue is equal to marginal revenue and the short run marginal cost curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from below. So this is the point of equilibrium. Now at this point, the firm, what is the cost of the firm? The short run average cost curve is lying over here. So it means the cost is at this level and the revenue is at this level. So the gap between these 2 points is the area of supernormal profit which the firm is earning. Okay, you can see the cost is at point A. It is at point A and the revenue is at point E because this is the graph of average revenue, marginal revenue. So it is at point E and cost is at A. So this whole area that is highlighted with gray, that is the area of supernormal profit. Okay. So in the short run, the firms can have a supernormal profit. Now let us see more. Okay, so you can see that equilibrium output is EM. EM, it is the equilibrium output. Since average revenue, that is EM, is more than the short run average cost, that is the AM. Average revenue, where is average revenue? Average revenue is over here. Since average revenue is more than the short run average cost, that is AM. So AM is this, AM. So it is the point of, it is the area of profit. So that is why the firm is earning the supernormal profit per unit of output. Now what is the total profit? It is BA into EA and OM into EA. No, actually it should be this shaded area, that is EABP. This is the area of supernormal profit. Did you get this? Darshna, Raisa. What is that, Darshna? I didn't get that. P. Okay. Yeah, gray area. Janice, did you get that? Now this is the second condition. Now after from supernormal profits we come to the normal profits. So in the normal profits, the average revenue must be equal to the short run average cost. This is the ideal condition. The cost and revenue must be equal to each other. Then only we will have normal profits. Okay. So a firm in equilibrium earns the normal profit when average revenue is determined by the industry is equal to its short run average cost. That is the same condition as seen previously, but the difference is that when we were earning supernormal profits, the average revenue was more than the short-run average cost. But when it comes to normal profit, the average revenue and short-run average costs are equal to each other. Okay, that is the difference. When it will be more, it will be supernormal profit, and when they are equal, it will be normal profit. So now you can see again, this red line is the average revenue marginal revenue line. Then this yellow is the short-run marginal cost curve, and this SAC is the short-run average cost curve. So now you can see they all are cutting each other at point E. They all are touching each other at point E. Yeah. So E is the point of equilibrium for the firm. So at this point, as we can see, the average revenue is equal to the short-run average cost curve. So this is the case of normal profit. Alright. Raisa, Darshna, Janice. Janice. Are you there? Okay. Now these two are done. Now the next is, so you can just read what is written over here. I'll just have a glass of water. Please read that. Yeah, when the three lines are meeting each other. Okay. Now let's just continue. We can discuss the next two. Now this is the third condition when the firm can have minimum loss. And in this case, the average revenue is less than the short-run average cost. Okay, this is the third condition. Okay, so now you can see a firm may continue production even if it is incurring losses because in the short run it can't leave the industry. Again, in the short run there is some restriction. In the short run a firm cannot leave the industry and it cannot and a new firm cannot enter also. So there is some problem in the short run. So obviously in the situation of loss, a firm will be in the equilibrium at that level of output where it gets the minimum losses. That is when the short-run average cost is more than the average revenue. When the cost is more than the revenue, then only we can say that is a situation of loss or minimum loss. So again, in this graph we see red line average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. Short-run marginal cost curve is cutting from below at point E. Now where will this short-run average cost go? It will go a little higher. You know what is its tendency is? I'll just show you on the whiteboard. you will notice how will it behave. This is the average revenue and marginal revenue line. This is the short run marginal cost. This will remain the same. This, it's like I'm telling you this to remember, so that it's easy for you to remember. Okay, because when it comes to drawing the graphs, it is easy, but it's little confusing. So these two lines will remain the same as it is in every graph. What is going to change is the short run average cost curve. So in the first case, the case of supernormal profits, we saw that it will be something like this, means it will be below. Okay, it will be below this line, average revenue, marginal revenue, it will be below. When we were talking about the normal profits, it will be touching this line only. It will be touching the average revenue, marginal revenue line. And when it is about losses, since there are loss, so obviously the cost is more than the income, the revenue. So in this case, this line will be a little above this fixed line, this average revenue, marginal revenue line. So you can remember like this, it will start from below, then it will touch the line, and then it will go up above. Okay, it will be easier for you to remember. Raiza, Darshana, Janice? To avoid the confusion. So now it is at the point above the red line, that is the parallel line. So now we see this is the point of equilibrium, because the marginal cost is cutting the marginal revenue from below at this point. So this is the equilibrium point. Then this cost line is over here, it is above the revenue now. So this is the, if we join it, it will be like this. So this highlighted area, that is BAPE, this is the point of, this is the area of loss for the firm. Okay, this is how much loss the firm is incurring. Is that clear? This gray. Yeah, it's BPAE, or we can say BAPE, BAEP. Now even if the firm discontinues the production, it will have to bear the loss of fixed cost, which is minimum possible loss of a firm. Yes. Now the question is, when the firm is incurring losses, we should stop the production. But the thing is that even if we stop the production, we have to bear the cost of the fixed cost. The fixed cost, like the rent of the building, the salary of the accountant, the fixed charge of the telephone bill, the fixed charge of the electricity, that all has to be paid. The charge of the guard, we cannot overlook that. So that is the thing that we are going to incur even if we stop our production. Yes. Now this is the last thing that we will be discussing, that is the shutdown point. Now we have come to a point when the average revenue is much less than the short run average cost. So this is a point at which we are going to close our business. Just a minute, I want to just clarify one thing. Now you see that when there was minimum loss, the average revenue was much was less than the short run average cost. Okay, the average cost was more and revenue was less. Now in this case also the same thing is there, but there is a slight difference. Okay, now you can see the firm will shut down if it cannot recover the average variable cost. That is when the average revenue is equal to short run average variable cost. It's little confusing to look at, but let us go step by step. So you can see this is the line, average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. This is the point of equilibrium, the point at which marginal cost and marginal revenue are cutting each other. If we draw a line above this, now this is the average cost. Now this time the average cost is much above than what it was previously. Previously it was at this level only in the previous graph, but now it has gone to double the height. Okay, it is at this point now, this white graph, short run average cost. So from this point E, we are going to draw a line till this point, that is point A. So this area BAEP is the area of total losses. The firm is incurring loss now. So yeah, big loss. So it's better to shut it down. So a firm should continue to produce as long as the price is greater than the average variable cost, even if it is incurring losses. But if the price is more than the average variable cost, it should continue to manufacture. Like you can see, this is the short run average variable cost. So this is cutting this line at point E. So it is fine till this point. But after that, the production should stop. Now once the price falls below that point, it makes sense to shut down temporarily and save the variable cost. Yes. So if the price rises to OP1, then the firm can cover some of its fixed costs also. So the minimum point of SAVC is called the shutdown point. Okay, the minimum point of short run average variable cost, that is the point of shutdown for the firm. Dairy milk, what is that, Raisa? Yes, Raisa. Are you writing to me? Okay. So now we are done with this, and what is best for you is go through your text so that you can easily remember these things. If you will go through your text once, the things will get set in your mind, otherwise you are going to forget it. Okay, so please do the needful. So we can just wind up now. Now one more thing is left in this, that is the normal profits in the long run. Okay, but there is no point in discussing that right now. We can discuss it in another class. Okay then, bye. Thanks for your time, everybody. Give the feedback and hope to see you all in the next class. Please don't miss these classes because they are all related and there is no point in missing them. Okay, if you are going to miss one, you will end up in a problem. You won't be able to understand the next session. So it's better you do all of them regularly. Okay, so bye everybody. Thanks for your time. Good night. Take care. Enjoy your week ahead.